Quick little apology for starting a little. Will everyone please rise for the presentation of the colors by the FDNY Ceremonial Unit Color Guard. Everyone remain standing for the singing of our national anthem by Captain Antonio Quinones.
Detail, hand salute.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ready, two.
Please remain standing for the invocation by FDNY Chaplain, Father Joseph Hoffman.
Detail, uncover.
Let us recall that we are in the presence of God. Loving God, we come together in your presence today to ask your blessing on these plaques. We give you thanks for giving us the people who made great sacrifices and are commemorated by these memorials. May we ever be grateful to them for the great service they have given to us. We ask you to keep them beside you in your kingdom and help us to be inspired by their generosity, sacrifice, and gift of self for others. Bless their families, our department family, and our city, today and always. Amen.
Please retire the colors. Please be seated. Good morning, everyone. If we could just take a moment to silence our cell phones to try and minimize some of the interruptions during our ceremony. My name is Lieutenant Thomas Carrera, and I am assigned to Hook and Ladder Company 168 in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, and I will be your Master of Ceremonies this morning. I would like to thank everyone for coming to today's FDNY Boroughwide Memorial Plaque dedication, honoring our fallen members from the great borough of Brooklyn. We are especially honored to have their families, members from their companies, and their close personal friends here with us today. I would like to give a warm welcome to our Assistant and Deputy Commissioners, FDNY staff chiefs, chief officers, borough and division commanders, and union officials. If we can give them a round of applause, please. They work very hard for us, day in and day out, keeping us all safe. Thank you very much. I would like to introduce the members of our dais. Our Acting Fire Commissioner, Laura Cavanaugh. Our Chief of Department, John Hodgins. Our Chief of Staff, Elizabeth Cascio. Chief of EMS Operations, Lillian Bonsignor. The Assistant Commissioner for Family Assistance, Evelyn Tesoriero. And of course, our FDNY chaplain, Father Joseph Hoffman. I am honored to introduce our first speaker, our Acting Fire Commissioner, Laura Cavanaugh.
Good morning. Welcome to the Fire Academy, and thank you for joining us today as we remember 10 of our members who bravely served our department in Brooklyn. We gather today in a tradition of remembrance of our coworkers, our friends, and your loved ones. It is a tradition that brings us sadness, but also solace, as we reflect on the love and loss of those closest to us. They were firefighters, fire officers, EMTs, and EMS officers. These members served our department with distinction, some for long careers, and others not quite so long. But either way, their service left a footprint only they could fill, leaving a lasting impression on their firehouse or EMS station, saving lives, protecting property, and providing exceptional emergency medical care. We have 10 members to talk about today, and we know that you know them best. Their likes and dislikes, the memorable days at work, good and bad, and all the things that made them laugh and cry while doing their jobs. But while those experiences may be very different, what unites them is their mission of service to the FDNY. That makes them more alike than you would think. It is a thread of dedication to their neighbors, their fellow New Yorkers, and to you, their loved ones, that ties them together. When their careers began, they came to this academy, or to the EMS Training Academy at Fort Totten, and they learned the skills needed to become among the best firefighters and emergency medical technicians in the world. They crafted their trade and fine-tuned a passion that would carry them throughout their lives, a passion to do good. It is that drive that sets them apart from all others, and it becomes part of who they are. Serving as a part of the world's greatest fire department becomes a part of their identity. A sworn oath seals the deal, and every day, on every tour, your loved ones embodied that oath to do good, to protect, and to serve. For some, that oath brought them to respond to the September 11th attacks, or the days or months that followed in rescue and recovery. For others, it brought them to thousands of emergency calls, all of which were answered. Every single one of those calls was a chance to be challenged, to be of service, and to fulfill that promise to always show up, no matter what. Today, we make good on that promise once again, as we show up for you, the loved ones of those who have left us far too soon. We vow to always remember your loved one, to keep showing up even after death. It is a vow made of honor and respect for their service and their sacrifice. We do not take it lightly when we vow to never forget. A plaque bearing your loved one's name will be placed at the firehouses and EMS stations where they served, a permanent tribute to each one, allowing their memory to live on in inspiration for those who will join our ranks in the future. They will be remembered for being good, for being of service, for being dedicated, and also for being loved. For the families here today, I know we cannot bring you anything to ease your pain, but we offer these remembrances as a token of our appreciation and commitment to honoring their memories forever. May God bless the Sanchez, Ford, Manley, Storts, McGibbon, Farrell, Daly, Winters, Malfi, and Connell families, and may God continue to bless the FDNY. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner, for those beautiful words. Our next speaker will be our Chief of Department, John Hodgins.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today. We are all gathered here today for a sad reason, but also for a very necessary one. It is a day for us to reflect on those members we have lost, but it is also a day to honor them and remember them, as is the great tradition of the FDNY. We will always mourn the loss of our loved ones, taken from us far too soon. But we know we must gather for these kinds of events so we could talk about them and remember the amazing impact they've had on us and our department. The members we honor today are known for so many good things: selflessness, bravery, and honor. They served our department, our city, with distinction. We honor them with a plaque that will hang in their firehouses and EMS stations. But it's not just something we hang on the wall. It's a way to preserve all the good they did in their lives. We are telling their stories. We are inviting questions for visitors to find out about who they were and what they did with their time with us. In my many years working in firehouses, I have come across many plaques hanging on the wall. I reflect on the fact that these members were a part of this firehouse or this EMS station. They sat at the kitchen table, ate meals, told stories, and no doubt solved the world's problems. I'm sure they also laughed a lot. In the FDNY, we say never forget. These plaques ensure that our loved ones' legacy and sacrifices are never forgotten. These plaques serve to educate our next generation of firefighters and EMTs, a reminder of the character of the members of our department, their bravery and their service. So today we remember, and we also make a promise to never forget. God bless you, and God continue to bless the FDNY. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. We will now commence with the dedication of our plaques. I would like to once again invite Father Joseph Hoffman to the podium to read and bless the plaques.
The first group of plaques are World Trade Center. Dedicated to the memory of FDNY's fallen members who bravely served this department, protecting life and property in the city of New York, in the rescue and recovery efforts at Manhattan Box 5-58087 World Trade Center. Firefighter Thomas G. Manley, Ladder 113, December 22nd, 2020. Firefighter Ronald P. Stortz, Ladder 107, January 16th, 2021. Lieutenant Gerard C. McGibbon, Engine 217, January 24th, 2021. Lieutenant Martin K. Farrell, Engine 253, March 12th, 2021. Firefighter Joseph K. Daly, Engine 218, March 24th, 2021. Lieutenant James J. Winters, Engine 278, April 11th, 2021. Firefighter Anthony Malfi, Ladder 168, June 8th, 2021. The next plaque is EMS, World Trade Center. Dedicated to the memory of the FDNY's fallen member who bravely served this department by delivering the finest pre-hospital medical care to the citizens of New York City in the rescue and recovery efforts at Manhattan Box 5-5-8087, World Trade Center. EMT Renee Sanchez, Bureau of Investigation and Trial, September 16th, 2020. The next group of plaques are EMS 65-2. Dedicated to the memory of the FDNY's fallen members who proudly served this department by delivering the finest pre-hospital medical care to the citizens of New York City. EMT Evelyn Ford, EMD-PSAC1, December 22nd, 2020. Lieutenant Danielle G. Connell, Division 8, July 23rd, 2021. At this point, we will have the blessing of the plaques. Almighty, everlasting God, we ask you to pour out your blessing upon these plaques, which we will use to recall the example of so many great members who are willing to sacrifice, give of themselves, and put themselves on the line for the people of our city. We ask you to help us remember them each time that we look upon these plaques. And we give thanks to you for having given them to us and for the wonderful work and sacrifice and example of love for others that they gave us during this life. Please bless the plaques, their memory, and their families today and forever. Amen.
Detail.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the conclusion of our ceremony, we will invite each family up on stage for a picture with your individual plaque. You'll be directed by one of the ceremonial unit officers when to come up on stage. On behalf of the Acting Fire Commissioner and Chief of Department and all of the members of our dais, we want to thank you for attending today's very special ceremony. What a terrific show of love for our fallen members. This concludes our plaque dedication for today, but what will never conclude, absolutely never conclude, is the love, dedication, and commitment that we have for all of the families in this room today. As the Commissioner said, the words never forget, we do not take them lightly. We, the FDNY, and this great city of New York will never forget the sacrifice you have made for us. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your day. That concludes.